What up, SNA assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast video. Just 8 days before the big pay-per-view, the fourth big pay-per-view of the year, as a matter of fact, to be the exact. And then we got the finally see who was the fifth member of the Babyface Men's Survivor Series War Games match, and which I'm not going to talk about till later on because y'all will not believe this if I did told you before, like if it would happen on the show. But this is my job to do right here. There's one of the most prestigious most prestigious of the independent YouTubers in YouTube wrestling. Like I'm gonna tell you that later on, but not until I tell you guys how y'all doing and talk about what happened before that, because we do have a new bloodline came out. The send a message to the OG bloodline, including their leader, the OTC himself. But I also want to talk about other than bloodline-related subjects. I also want to talk about the women's War Games match, which they did a little teaser. Like we're going to possibly be seeing a replacement on the female babyface side, or the babyface side of the females of Royal Rumble Survivor Series War Games. And unfortunately, it's not going to be Io Sky, but I'm going to get into that later. And also, we got some couple of decent matches and a few that's following up, like that looks promising. Let's hope they do follow through and it actually be a successful one. And also, we got things built up for not only War Games, like with everything going to be coming together, but also we're going to be seeing. We saw like what we're going to be seeing next week on Friday Night SmackDown. They even though like next week's SmackDown will probably be pre-taped, which is going to be in Salt Lake, Utah, so the families can have some time off. And maybe I will be making a review of it if I don't get no full information on the wrestling news, which that's probably going to be tomorrow, if so. But yeah, let's get started with Solo Sikoa and the rest of the new bloodline came out. And an honorary member, what's his name, Bronson Reed, is where the Solo Sikoa was like, Salt Lake City, you better acknowledge me. About it. Everybody did that tongue sticking out smile, like, and then this where they put their ones up, like being the cheap knockoff of Roman Reigns and the original bloodline. It's where it's like, it's time for War Games now, and me and my crew are ready to dominate, baby. And then this is where fans like, ew, like we're not your babies. And yeah, that's absolutely true, 100%. And this is where the fans start chanting OTC after he said that. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame them. I would be saying the same thing. As a matter of fact, I had to start doing that. I was like, yeah, OTC, get this Roman Reigns wannabe clown out of the ring. And this is where the Soldier Code's like, and I need to and Roman, I need you to do one favor for me, right? In this middle, and it has something to do with me and you in the middle of this ring. I need you to accept my terms as tribal chief for you surrendering your title, because even though you do have your old pals as in your heyday is the tribal chief, but those days are completely vanished. And again, you and your crew will finally acknowledge me once you do this, Roman. He drops the microphone. This is where then he walks out of there. This is where then Michael Cole's like, I don't think Roman Reigns is definitely not going to be acknowledging him. That's the last thing he will do. Like, he would rather be put in his grave before he does something that he shouldn't do, and that's absolutely. And that's absolutely not acknowledging him as a tribal chief, because I don't think you ever will be. Because he's not materialized. Even if he did got the chance of becoming a tribal chief, I don't think he'll be ready right away. Just saying. But what are your thoughts? And do you think that Roman Reigns was actually going to acknowledge Solo Sikoa, or do you think it was going to reveal the fifth member? Well, let's just say he didn't reveal the fifth member, but I'm gonna get into that at the end of this video. But anyways, moving on forward, we got what happened? It was like Bianca Belair taking on Chelsea Green and Blair Davenport in the triple threat number one contenders. The number one contenders tournament for the Women's United States Championship. Winner gets to face Bayley at the semifinals. Obviously they were probably not going to be putting Bianca Belair in the matter, and they had to worry about who's going to be what they're going to do. Like if they're going to replace one of the female. What they call one of the female Survivor Series War Games babyface teammates. Like what we do, like we kill two birds with one stone. Like with them, like trying with something happening to one of the members of the babyface team, backstage, and then we saw it was Chelsea Green and what's her name and Blair Davenport alone, and this is where everybody got their wish, including yours truly. Even though I'm not a fanboy of this particular women's wrestler, but I think I agree with most people that are a fan of this particular wrestlers. But it makes sense because they're the star of the women's mid card division. So why not put them over? But this is where we got. But let's get started with the tag team match. What's her name? Chelsea Green to try to go for an attack, but this is where she immediately got thrown out of the ring by the EST. This is where it was Blair Davenport and Bianca in the ring. Now just going at it with amazingly Blair Davenport was bringing the fight to Bianca, had some drop kicks, double foot stomp until Bianca Belair got herself right back up. This is where she started fighting back and hit some forearm strikes right into the midsection of the New Zealand wrestler. This is where they start continuing just to lay her out. This is where then she sent her right into the corner. This is where we got Chelsea Green trying to come in and try to ambush Bianca from behind, but this is where she caught her and hit her with a missile drop kick. This is where Bianca Belair was seconds away from getting the win and face her longtime arch rival, which I totally understand why WWE did that. So because of that particular reason, and maybe they will be fighting one day in a one-on-one match, but that's going to be in the future from now, in 2025 will be the earliest at it. This is where we got Bianca Belair going for a splash. This is where they start going. She, not a he. Well, only thing that's a he around Bianca is her husband Montez, and he's going to be in action later on. But I'm not going to get into that until after this fight. But this is where EST start going for right hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is where we got Chelsea Green to try to grab onto the break. One thing that she should have taken a page out of she shouldn't be taking the page out of from Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks is to pull her hair, which she didn't learn from those last few years when those three tried to pull on their hair, when they ended up getting felt the wrath of consequences. This is where we got Chelsea Green nearly felt the same thing, but Bianca showed some mercy for some odd reason. This is where she instead of whipping her with the in the midsection, because even if it was a dangerous weapon and they consider it that, and it's going to cost her a DQ, I don't think she would have get disqualified considering it's a triple threat match. And these days triple threat matches are all no DQs. But anyway, this is where we got Bianca Belair trying to go for a clothesline. Chelsea Green ducks out of the way, hits a high knee Shining Wizard or Rough Rider, looking like her husband, the indie god that's currently wrestling it all over the independent scene, but that's a different video for a different day. But this is where we got Chelsea Green to try to set her side and splash onto Blair Davenport. She elbow striked her right into the face. This is where she springboard, hit a double foot stomp in the back. This is where we got. That's where she runs right to Bianca Belair. She spine busters her right into the middle of the ring. This is where she tried to line her up. I believe along with Chelsea Green, but Chelsea Green was cowardly to go lined up with Blair Davenport. Maybe it was a smart move. She moved out of the way. This is where Bianca Belair's move was unsuccessful because Blair Davenport got the knees up when she tried to go for the moonsault. And then Chelsea then hits the middle missile drop kick right onto Bianca and send him right to the left side. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Blair Davenport flips her over in the reversal, of a crucifix cradle, but this is where it only got a 2.2 count. Here's where Chelsea Green's well, that was a relief. But this is where she starts scolding herself by saying, "Come on, Chelsea, you know better than this. Just put her away and become and be just a couple of matches away from becoming the first ever inaugural Women's United States champion," which that should happen, by the way. But I'm not going to get into that until later on. But it's where we got Blair Davenport going for a German suplex, but this is where Chelsea Green countered, tried to go for a German suplex on the Blair. But that's where once she was in that position, this is where Bianca Belair went behind her and did a double German suplex onto the two women. That's where Bianca Belair tried to recover onto Davenport, but this is where Davenport kicked out at and she didn't kick out. Like it was Chelsea Green that came in for the save, but not for Blair, but for herself. Yeah, Bianca would probably gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling Karen. But this is where Bianca Belair then. This is where Chelsea Green then fell right back down with all three women down. This is where we got Chelsea managed to get herself right back up though. It's where we got. Chelsea trying to go for a DDT, but it's where Bianca speared her right into the upper right corner side. Started hitting her left shoulder right into the gut. And that's where we got EST did step right back, try to spear her right to the ropes, but the turnbuckle of Tina is where she moved. Is where the Chelsea Green moved out of the way, hit shoulder first right onto the ring post. Is where we got Davenport try to go over a splash, but it's where she gets flipped right over on the right side. There's a right arm strike, but it's where Blair Davenport is an insecurity that was so badly nasty, I guess you could say. This is where we got. What's her name? Chelsea Green to try to go for a suplex. Here's where we got, Chelsea then did so to Blair Davenport. This is where we got Bianca Belair then hits her finishing maneuver, which is the 450 splash. It's where she almost got a 3, but it's where you got Chelsea Green that threw her right to the left side once again, yet again, being medley, like if she was the gang of the Scooby Doos, if I'm saying this correctly, and But yeah, and also she was like Britney Spears, of course, like if she did join the gang of Scooby-Doo. But this is where we got Chelsea Green to try to go for the pin, taking advantage of them. But luckily, Bianca Belair was there dragging the foot. Like this is where then we got Bianca then throw her right onto the barricade, right to the right side. This is where we got Bianca Belair to run right up into Blair Davenport. She nearly got a 3, but this is where Blair Davenport kicked out the last second of 2.999. 9999, might as well point away from being a 3. And I was like, man, like imagine if Chelsea Green wasn't here, but fortunately she is because for obvious reasons. But this is where we got Bianca Belair got distracted by somebody by something or went. Let somebody slamming Jay Cargill right into the somebody slammed the Storm right into a windshield of a car. And I was like, man, like I wonder who done this. Like, and whoever it was, they must have slammed them with them standing right onto this. What's it called? The trailer set. But yeah.
We're gonna help. We're gonna make something for my mommy.
For mommy.
And then we don't know what to use.
I'm not sure. That's a tough one.
You have to give us an idea.
Dang, what are you trying to make her?
It's a secret for her. Yeah.
Which I had some ideas, but I'm very empty right now with ideas.
You probably do have an idea. Just put some ice cream. Ice cream, chocolate, and syrup.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with a solution as soon as I get done. But anyway,
ice cream, syrup,
but anyway,
chocolate.
Okay.
Chocolate.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, this is where we saw somebody they started to cause a murder scene, like from that, like with Jay Cargill being tossed right from off the production truck or whatever truck it was, right into a hood of a car right behind it. Like that what the cameraman was right on the trailer showing the lifeless Jay Cargill, like right onto the windshield of the car. This is where Dr. Blair ran right outside in the parking lot to see what happened and who did this. But this is where we got Blair Davenport nearly scored a victory over Chelsea Green. But once Chelsea Green kicked out like 2.7, this is where both women got back. Blair hit the super kick on the Chelsea. This is where did you try to go for. And why did you try to go for that, like a Falcon Arrow maneuver? But this is where Chelsea Green flipped right out of it. It's the unprettier 1-2-3 winner of this match, advancing at the semifinals against Tropicana, $1 Million Bayley, also known as George's girlfriend, Bayley herself. And who do you think is going to win the semifinals and who's going to face the other side? On one way to find out, you have to wait until like over 16 years ago. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide. But next week we'll probably see Lopez, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton, because we got that, and then we have Piper Niven, Jay Cargill, and Michin on the other side. Remember, in those matches, they're going to face either Bailey or Chelsea Green. Yeah, again, let me know in the comments who's going to be that particular person. And do you think it's going to be Bailey or Chelsea Green on the other side? Which we're probably not going to be seeing in the next 2-3 weeks from now. Depending on who's depending on like how they're gonna do this, which I think they're gonna probably do 2 matches next week, maybe one of them, and then the other gonna be the beginning of December. Yeah, I'm gonna probably see something like that, but we're gonna have to figure it out later. That's where we got got a segment like with Bianca Belair, see what happened and who did that. This is where Bailey was like yeah, I don't know, it seemed like whoever it was, like there must have been some kind of an anonymous like ninja, like female anonymous ninja or something like that. I don't know, but to put it in the other way, but this is where, like, of a lack of a better term. But anyway, this is where we got Bianca Belair told Bailey to basically stay out of this. And this is where she's gonna go with her in the ambulance, like onto to go to the nearest local medical facility in Utah. And who do you think the mystery who attacked Jay Cargill? Do you think it's somebody on the babyface side, or do you think it's somebody in the heel side like Nia Jax? And but this is where we got Nick Aldis asked Nia Jax about it, like, did she have anything to do with it? But this is where Nia Jax did try to point out some logic, even though I'm not sure if it really is logical, but. This word, and she said, like Nicholas, like if I did something like that, like you would clearly see me like and still in that same area right on camera, like you cannot get me confused with somebody, that wants to stay anonymous. Like if I want to get something done, I do it out in the open, like which that's a true point. But you never know. But this is where she's like, the only thing I want to see, like, get beat up on Team Bianca and the rest of her trashy gal crew, like is that I want to see, like, my gals, mine, like Tiffy and Candace, to take out Bailey and Naomi. Well, not Bailey, because she's not on Team Babyfaces, or maybe is she? I'm not sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see about that. We're gonna talk about that in just a moment. But it's where we got LA Knight came out, because he has the United States Championship match, which we talked about on my news video. Make sure to check that out for those that haven't checked it out already. But it's where we got. And then I got LA Knight then got ready for his match against Santo Escobar. But before he even get a chance to fight him, this is where he gets interrupted by somebody on the Titantron. That word in general. Secondly, I'm not talking about that show, so why am I even saying his nickname? But anyways, you get the point. But that's the only thing I know. Like his favorite nickname. And then say hello and goodbye in Japanese, like konnichiwa and sayonara. But anyways, this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura was like, I have watched you for a very long time now. And he was like, and better than you know yourself, like, and then then he added, like you are the riddled with insecurities, like, and beg them to chant your name with that awful catchphrase, like you say right after you say it, and it's like, and you beg them to chant your name, and growing aura of desperation, and it's like, in the lash out so they don't see, and then you lash out so they don't see fear, the frightenness in him, and the frightenness in you. That's what we said, not him, and you. And he's like, and how you lie at night, like consumed with fear that everything you've obtained, like it will slip through your fingers, and your fears are justified. And I was like, the only thing that's going to be justified is going to be tomorrow in a certain particular match over the other company. But I'm not sure if I should be talking about that right here, right now. But anyways, here's where the LA Knight did not know what the heck he's talking about. This is where they showed him when he did that back fist, like if he's a certain wrestler they still wrestle in this company. As a matter of fact, he's a legend, a 20-year legend in the business. But yeah, this is where then he finished off by saying, like, this is the beginning of your end, Los Angeles. Like, and this is where we got Santos Escobar took advantage of that distraction and then attack LA Knight, started stomping onto him before the vignette was over. This is where then we got referees like, no, like I didn't ring the bell. This is where then Santos Escobar was like, did a springboard cannonball back in the ring, like when he was on the right side on the apron, continuing to find ways to beat him and become the new United States champion. But he only got a 2.5 count. Like if he's just shouting that to a center on football, like when like in a generic football game, I guess you could say. But this is where we got Santos Escobar then try to go for a pin, but LA Knight kicked out once again for the second straight time. This is where the referee's like, and that was 2, not 3. And this is where Santos Escobar is like, you know, like I'm not gonna argue. This is where he did the right choice, but even for that, like it was not so successful when he hit this move with the legs around his left side. This is where we got LA Knight got back up, started into my hands. This is where then we got Escobar to throw LA Knight right to the left side and then the right side. This is where LA Knight countered and then and this is where we got LA Knight countered out of his Irish whip. This is where we got him trying to go for a right hand. This is where he kicks him right in the face, but this is where he tries to go for a right hand. Then LA Knight goes for one for himself. This is where he tries to close on him out of the ring, but he gets flipped right over by Escobar. This is where you got Santos Escobar's like, yeah, LA Knight no more. This is where we got LA Knight to hit a slingshot shoulder tackle, but by the champ. This is where LA Knight is trying to go for the blunt force trauma. But this is where he was like, nah, I have a better idea. This is where he started going for some super bionic punches, even though I double phrased myself with the same thing, but in different words. This is where he hits a discus clothesline after he hit those right hands. This is where we got the Mega Star and try to go Irish whip Santos, which he was successful on the right side, but he bounced right chest and belly first. Hits a swinging neck breaker. That's where LA Knight tried to go for a pin, but it's where Escobar kicks out at 2.99999999999. Double triple nine miles, 0.1 away from being 3. And where we got got Law Knight then try to pick him up, but this is where we got Santos then kicking him right, punching him right in the midsection, then kicking him right in the waist and the ribs. This is where then he tried to go pick him up, put him on the the bottom right corner side. And this is where he tried to go for a suplex. This is where LA Knight started the punches. This is where then he hits a right hand to the midsection. This is where he tried to go for the jumping dip elbow drop, which I think that's his secondary signature move. But this is where he got immediately distracted by the King of Strong Style himself, and that was Shinsuke Nakamura, with him looking like a much more modernly frightened version of the Great Muta. This is where then he gets insecurity right into in the head by Santos. This is where we got LA Knight to try to go for a crossbody, but where he gets tripped over, he gets hit right into the family jewels. Like that was very painful. This is where we got Santos Escobar and try to go for Hurricane Rana. This is where he was successful hitting that onto LA Knight. Looked like he was about to win with him going up on the top rope, thinking that that's going to help him get the dub. But unfortunately for the leader of Legado del Fantasma with the frog splash, which he successfully did, like if he's another certain Latino wrestler. But I just don't think he's the next him. And I see what my boy Plana's talking about, but not against him, but just saying you don't need to be like him in order to be like a recognizable figure. You don't need that comparison in order to be the next star in the company. But this is where we got Santos Escobar decided not to go for the pin, but rather I think he try to go for the Phantom Driver, was it? Because he picked him up, put him on his shoulders. But this is where we got LA Knight amazingly just flip right out of it and hits the blunt force trauma out of nowhere, like if he's about to hit an RKO for a 1, 2, 3, and he retains as your United States champion. But before he can even celebrate, Shinsuke Nakamura zoomed in. I don't think he even used his foot. He just used his power of floating. I forget what the name of that ability, like on Star Wars, but this is where he zoomed in. He then hits a kick right to the back of LA Knight. That's where we got just got to go through LA Knight's shoulder first, right onto the bottom right side of Rita the ring post. Is where then he's like give her a kiss and then give Tina a kiss right into that exact same corner. Stud him right to the shoulder. This is where then Shinsuke Nakamura picks up LA Knight, and this is where then he trying to go for another one for the one final time, like trying to damage that shoulder. Like first it was to Family Jewels, second it was the backs, third it was the necks, and now it's shoulders that he wants to target. Which I don't know what's wrong with him trying to break